We have a heartwarming story out of Coral Gables. It is sure to bring a smile to your face. Perfect for a Saturday morning. Across America, more protests are expected in California today. This comes after the Sacramento district attorney announced that charges will not be filed against two police officers who killed a man last year. Following breaking news out of Texas at this hour, the Texas Attorney General telling CBS News that at least 15 people have been killed after a 21-year-old man opened fire at an El Paso shopping center. So how big an economic impact the game has on the local economy, that's always a question whenever the Super Bowl comes to town. After days of sorting and recounting, working 12 on, 12 off shifts, making sure all of these machines were manned for 24 hours, all of that work was in vain because the results were submitted 2 minutes late. Now to the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. House managers expected to finish opening arguments this morning as they try to sway the Senate to vote to remove the president from office. Now at 5, a bizarre twist in the case of a missing mother from an out-of-state man who's now under arrest. He says he's a witch. Casting a ballot amid the pandemic, what's being done to keep voters safe on primary day? Thank you for joining us. I'm Karli Barnett in for Lauren Pastrana. The little boy was found wandering alone in Miramar, but one question still remains: where is his mother? CBS 4's Joan Murray joins us with the latest on this case. Craig, thank you. Now to campaign 2020. Tomorrow is the Florida primary, so if you haven't voted early or mailed in your ballot, you have tomorrow to make your vote count. We spoke with the supervisor of elections in both Miami-Dade and Broward to learn more about the precautions they're taking to protect voters in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Voters must go to their assigned voting location. Plus, you have to bring a valid and current identification that contains a photo and signature. And remember, if you're in line by 7 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. So to find your polling place based on your county, we have a link to that on our website, cbsmiami.com/campaign2020. And staying with some campaign news, when the Democratic National Convention kicks off tonight, it's going to be one like we have never seen before, mostly all virtual as the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread rapidly across the country. Definitely. So CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer joining us now. Craig, are we going to see any relief from the heat anytime soon? Still ahead at 5, day in and day out, they are exposed to the deadly coronavirus. Tonight, what life is like for nurses on the front lines, the CBS 4 News exclusive at 5:30. Welcome back, and now to a CBS 4 News health alert. The American Academy of Pediatrics is out with some new guidance about face coverings for children. Pediatricians say now is the time to start preparing children for wearing masks all day if they're headed back to the classroom. CBS 4's Michael George has more. Experts say parents should choose a mask that's at least 2 or 3 layers, and adjustable straps are a good way to make sure you get a good fit. Now at 5:30, a CBS 4 News exclusive, a rare look inside a COVID unit at a Jackson Memorial Hospital. Frontline workers there have been battling the pandemic for months. Some haven't even seen their families for weeks at a time. This mother of 2-year-old twins teamed up with CBS 4's Lisa Petrillo on Zoom to share an easy to make, I like the sound of that, yet very impressive summer recipe. Now we are tracking the tropics. There are 2 tropical disturbances with the potential to develop further. One is nearing the Caribbean, the other in the eastern Atlantic. Party is expected to nominate Joe Biden for president and California Senator Kamala Harris as vice president. Well, tomorrow is primary day here with polls open from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. Election officials in Miami-Dade and Broward say they will be ready, and voter safety is a top priority. As Miami-Dade's positivity rate declines slowly, Mayor Carlos Jimenez says he's speaking regularly with members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force about the need for the county to get down to that 5% threshold before more reopenings take place. Lauren, Jim, definitely some frightening moments for shoppers and employees. It was the 2 people that were taken into custody that were the ones hurt in all of this. Now, we're actually on the other side of the mall because police still have that area blocked off. That's the area over by the Dillards. Now, the mall is open, but inside you just can't get to that area where police are still investigating. They do still have a crime scene there. But officers say this all started when 2 people tried to rob that jewelry store. Many shoppers and employees had a frightening day at Pembroke Lakes Mall when gunshots rang out. I was helping a customer and all of a sudden I hear gunshots. I didn't know whether to get on the ground or run, so I ran. Everyone was running. Chopper 4 over the scene as Pembroke Pines police respond to a call of shots fired around 2:30 Friday afternoon. One mall employee says she saw it unfold as two men tried to brazenly steal from Elite Fine Jewelers. They had a hammer and they broke the glass of the display to take the things inside, and the owner of the store fired at them.
Both suspects were struck by gunfire and fled. Pembroke Pines police responded and they ultimately rendered aid to both suspects within the mall and took them into custody.
Pembroke Pines police say they were both taken to the hospital and police continue their investigation.
Now everyone is a little bit crazy. People are getting crazy and we don't know what is going to happen. So I think it's better be home.
Officers say they can't comment right now on the extent of the injuries of those two suspects that were shot. They're also not releasing any names at this time, citing that ongoing investigation. Live in Pembroke Pines, Karli Barnett, CBS 4 News. 8 o'clock now on Sunday, March 3rd. Thank you for joining us. I'm Karli Barnett. First this morning, let's send it over to meteorologist Jennifer Correa. She has a look at our Sunday morning forecast and a look at a beautiful start there, Jennifer. The crash site is cleared, but the search for answers continues. Crews removed the wreckage of a Banner plane that slammed into a Fort Lauderdale building, killing its pilot. Today, federal investigators say they will examine what is left of that plane to find out what exactly went wrong. CBS 4's Ty Russell has the latest on this investigation and the new details we're learning this morning. A plane full of passengers is finally in South Florida this morning after a scare at Newark Airport. Their Southwest plane struck another airliner on the tarmac. Airport officials say the Boeing 737 clipped wings with a parked airplane at a gate just after 7 yesterday morning. Passenger Brian Rogers tweeted a photo of what happened, showing the plane colliding with the tail fin of another Southwest jet. All passengers were rebooked on another flight. While Newark Airport has been experiencing delays because of snow and ice, it's not known if weather played a role in this. Well, traffic on the roads is back to normal after a car went up in flames on the Florida Turnpike. This happened yesterday morning near the Southwest 40th Street exit. Firefighters quickly got those flames out. The driver, thankfully, was not hurt. The cause of that fire, though, is still under investigation. 8:06 now. The NTSB says they are still working to learn why a cargo plane crashed in Texas after taking off from Miami International Airport last Saturday. They say technicians are getting data off of one of the plane's black boxes. Investigators recovered the plane's cockpit voice recorder on Friday. Video shows engineers working on that recorder after it arrived in Washington. Crews in Texas are still working to find the plane's other black box and the body of one of the 3 crew members killed. On to the Trump presidency this morning. Last night, the president spoke to conservatives attending the CPAC conference outside of Washington, D.C. And he wasn't very brief with his remarks. The fiery and oftentimes off-script speech lasted 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 17 seconds on the dot. CBS 4's Errol Barnett wraps it up.
They're trying to take you out.
Across America, more protests are expected in California today. This comes after the Sacramento district attorney announced that charges will not be filed against 2 police officers who killed a man last year. Still ahead on CBS 4 this Sunday morning. 3D printing could change what you're eating. A look at the company working on 3D printed steaks. That is all new ahead at 8:30. But first, parts of the country are digging out from some snow, and they're expecting even more. A look at this wild winter weather that will make you glad you're in South Florida this morning. Welcome back on the Storm Watch. Winter is making a mad dash across the country this weekend. A massive storm is sprinting from California to New England, dropping heavy snow all along the way. And now up to a foot more could fall over parts of the Northeast. The mercury is sure to take a tumble here. CBS 4's Kenneth Craig has the latest. Well, Jennifer, we see all that snow and ice, and we think surely that is not going to affect us here in South Florida, but it does a little bit. Thank you, Jennifer. Just when we thought we could put the sweaters away. It is time now for our weekly series, Miami Proud. Each week we bring you stories that feature people and organizations inspiring greatness and pride. For the next year, the Miami Super Bowl host committee is teaming up with the NFL environmental team. As CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer shows us, this new partnership is focusing on South Florida's uniqueness. Welcome back. It is 8:24. While many people are flying into South Florida for spring break, you may want to get out. Imagine flying round trip here to Rome, Barcelona, maybe Amsterdam for less than $400. I'm not kidding. One South Florida woman is doing it for even less than that, and she's not the only one. So how can you cash in on these crazy cheap flights? CBS 4's Francis Wang reveals those secrets.
Lima between.
Sounds like it's time to plan a trip. We still have much more ahead on CBS 4 this Sunday morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is 8:40 as you head to the grocery store today. This is definitely something you will not be seeing. A Spanish company wants to fill the world with conscious carnivores, one steak at a time. The company relies on 3D printers to make their meat stand out. CBS 4's Gwen Baumgartner reports from London.
It's an innovative entree in London.
While the 3D steaks still are not available to buy, the company hopes to expand their food options in the future, creating 3D printed tuna steaks, even chicken breasts. All right. Well, new this morning, SpaceX's Crew Dragon space capsule is docked at the International Space Station. We have a live look this morning at the International Space Station, and inside the Crew Dragon capsule, scientists there are running tests on a dummy after its journey. It made its connection just before 6 o'clock this morning. It was carried by a rocket that took off from South Florida early yesterday. This is a trial run of a capsule that could take people from the U.S. to space as soon as this summer. CBS 4's Amber Diaz has more on the historic mission. Now, we were talking during the commercial break. Jennifer has already said that she is willing to go into space if we need her to.
Yes, yes. You want to send a meteorologist?
NASA, listen up. She's ready to do it. But how about a look at weather here on Earth, Jennifer? I think that's what we're worried about this morning.
Yes, on Earth for us in South Florida, it's actually a nice start. It's a bit more humid though, and because of more moisture, we've been seeing a few more showers. But let's take a look at that radar because, Carly, it's really starting to dry out.
Before we head out and about to enjoy our Sunday, Jennifer has another look at our Sunday forecast.
Yes, and the sky's really opening up. Here's a live view of our CBS 4 camera in Doral. Wow, waking up in the 60s, Thursday in the 50s. I like it.
So we go from record heat to a cold front.
Yeah.
Only in South Florida. That does it for CBS 4 this Sunday morning. CBS Sunday Morning is up next. Thank you for joining us and have a great weekend, everybody. The mother says her son suffers from mental health issues, and this has been quite the ordeal that they've dealt with. And now she is filing a lawsuit in an effort to keep this from happening to any other student.
So you know where you're going? Okay. Jail.
The mother of an 8-year-old boy who was arrested at his Key West elementary school is now filing a lawsuit.
I'm just here for my son because I've refused to let them make him a criminal.
Put your hands behind your back.
The arrest happened back in December 2018 at Gerald Adams Elementary, but this police body camera footage has recently received nationwide attention. Civil rights attorneys Ben Crump and Devin Jacob, who are also representing the family of George Floyd, announced the civil suit Tuesday.
You can't imagine what he must have been thinking when he tells his parents the big door slammed with the bars on it.
The mother says her son, who is not being named, suffers from mental health issues, including severe oppositional defiant disorder, ADHD, depression, and anxiety. She says the school was aware of his diagnoses.
The officer says the handcuffs won't fit.
Your hands are too small.
Is that not enough to break your heart, to make you stop there saying there's something terribly wrong that we're doing?
Follow him.
According to the complaint filed, defendants include the City of Key West, the Monroe County School District, and 3 Key West police officers and 3 school officials.
Children do suffer significant injuries during their formative years when the people who they're supposed to be able to trust misuse their authority and break that trust.
Put your hands right here.
In the video, an officer pats him down, puts handcuffs on him, and leads him out to a police car. But his mother says this went beyond any scared straight tactics.
Having his mouth swabbed for DNA and having been taking a mugshot. My 8-year-old son has a mugshot out there and has DNA out there. He was put in a jail cell.
And I hate that you put me in this position that I have to do this.
The boy was charged with felony battery for hitting a teacher. DeGennaro says it took her almost a year of legal battles to ultimately get the charge dropped against her son. We reached out to the Key West Police Department, the city, and the Monroe County School Board for comment on this. They said they could not make any kind of comment on open litigation.